Are you good?
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Strength Students podcast. I am Steve Cardy.
I am also not Steve Cardy. I'm Nick Scopoletti.
Word. And we're here talking about how to modify your intensity, right? So very common in the fitness world, strength and conditioning world is go as hard as you can all the fucking time, 24/7. If you're not going hard, dude, you're a fucking failure, dude. Fuck you.
Parents hate you.
I go balls to the wall every workout. We're here to tell you, maybe not the best thing to do.
Yeah, Steve, you have some experience with that.
Absolutely.
Explain yourself.
Well, so what are we talking about when we say intensity? All right, so modifying your intensity. We're looking at, like, let's say in this example for this episode, we're looking at about a week, right? So a week worth of training, okay? We'll break it down to that simple. So your intensity as far as training, just meaning how hard you're going, right? So how heavy you're going when you lift weights, or how intense you're going when you're doing metabolic stuff, or how much or how far, how long you're doing like distance, like whatever, right? So essentially your intensity being how fucking hard you're going, right? And there's this whole notion that it's like every workout you need to fucking go all out for your country, man. It's like, no, in reality, the way our bodies work, it just don't fucking work like that, man. Like we've said it on the show multiple times. You are getting stronger when your body is at rest. When you are fucking resting and recovering, that's when you're getting stronger.
Right.
So if you're in this chronic state of work where you're driving and moving and going, like when are you resting? Therefore, when are you getting stronger? Therefore, when are you getting better? Right. So, for me, obviously, I've been doing CrossFit, and I started doing CrossFit.
What's that?
At CrossFit Hartford, which has a dope competitors program, right? So very, very good competitors programming. And for CrossFit, essentially, if you're doing competitors programming, it's just like the extra sessions, so we see it all the time on social media, Instagram, Facebook, the athletes who are doing like 2 sessions a day. 3 sessions a day. That's you're doing competitive programming essentially, right? To be a competitive CrossFitter. This is not specific to CrossFit. That's if you're a competitive powerlifter, you're probably training 2 times a day. If you're a weightlifter, probably doing 2 sessions a day. If you're anything you're trying to be competitive at, you're probably doing it 2 times a day.
If you're going to be trying to be a professional at it and you're getting paid to do it, then chances are you're doing more than
like you're doing it 2 times a day.
Life,
or not even professional. Like if you're just trying to be competitive with what you're doing, it's not just like I go to the gym just to stay fit. It's like I'm competing at X. You're probably doing multiple sessions a day, right? So for me it was CrossFit, and I was doing multiple sessions a day. Generally it's the first session or one of the 2 sessions is the class. Like so you do the mixed modal, you do the CrossFit class, and then the second session would be extra work, which would be extra gymnastics, extra weightlifting, extra monostructural, so extra conditioning, or a mix of all 3. Or a mix of 2, whatever, right? So a session of you're doing the class, and then a session of you're doing some extra work, right? And this is programmed for us 5 days a week, 2 sessions a day. So that's 10 sessions in a week, right?
It's a lot.
So for me, it was, being new to CrossFit, having that classic athlete or, competitive mentality of like, all right, so all 10 of these workouts, I'm going to go as hard as I fucking can for all of them, because that's what's going to make me a better CrossFitter.
You're not going to modify your
RX
and
RX and everything, right? And I would look at every workout and I would try to RX every single workout, even though I am not an RX athlete. And I know, 2 years in a CrossFit, you're not a fucking RX athlete,
Unless you're a freak.
Unless you're a freak, right? But chances are...
Drew Accomando, a future guest.
Yeah, right. Chances are you're going to have to scale that down. But I wasn't. And my mentality was, oh, well, if I want to be an RX athlete, then I have to RX every workout, right? Because if that's the goal I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
I want to be an RX athlete.
Stop being soft.
I want to be one of the best competitors we have in CrossFit. So I need to do every workout RX. If I don't do RX, dude, I'm a fucking bitch, right? So, not even a year, like 6 to 8 months goes by of me doing the competitor training, and just every workout, just knowing that either the weight is too much or the volume is too much in that workout, I'm like, I'm RXing, I got to do it, or at least try to do it. And, these training sessions are taking me too long, and I'm hurting myself some places I've never hurt before. And, even in between sessions, my body is just like, dude, like every day feeling like you get hit by a car. You know what I mean? Like it's
a good feeling.
So this is kind of this was the perpetual result of what I was doing, right? Taking every training session to the max effort I could, right? Session 1 of the day, I got to go as hard as I can. Session 2 of the day, I got to go as hard as I can. As heavy as it's prescribed, even though I know that weight may be too heavy for me, right? And I'm doing that 5 days a week. So, I'm doing this 6 to 8 months, and lo and behold, get hurt. I got hurt multiple times, but it got to the point where I got hurt so bad that it was like I was forced to like take a step back. Right?
How long did you take off?
I was like intermittently getting hurt like here and there, and like taking a week off, and like being like, all right, I'm good to go again. Going hard, getting hurt after a couple months, and then it got to the point where I hurt my back so bad that I was out for like a long time. Out for
like a month or two, right?
Let's see. Yeah, I got hurt like during the Open, essentially, like a little bit after the Open last year. And I just started like taking classes again, like in October, November of that same year. So literally out for like, 4 or 5 months. And so, this was after kind of sitting back and reflecting on how I was training. This was a result of my intensity and the inability to modify where I needed to modify. And also kind of being ignorant to the fact that like, hey man, like 10 workouts in a week, like you can't expect yourself and your body to go 100% max effort in all those things, right? You can't RX every one of those, right? And that's honestly 9 times out of 10, that's going to be the result.
Yeah.
You're going to get hurt or you're going to start plateauing, right? As far as plateauing goes, I think one of the common things too is when you are plateauing, in our heads, a lot of the time, it's like, oh, well, that just means I need to rev it up. I need to ramp up intensity, right? I don't think that that's necessarily the case.
Yeah.
I personally think if you're having trouble and not plateauing, you need to like take a step in the other direction, take a step back, take some volume away, maybe take a fucking week off. You know what I mean? So it's just getting in that habit of being like, oh, I want to get to this level, so I need to just grind and go as hard as I can every single workout. Or, oh shit, I'm plateauing, then that means I need to kick it up even more. And what's probably going to happen is you're either going to get hurt or you're going to continue to plateau or plateau even worse.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Word. Have you had any experiences with this?
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Well, I think my experiences were, it was, for me, it was bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
It was, you're expecting yourself to hold on to all this muscle, do all this cardio, do all this lifting, and still, be able to. It's just a lot. It's a lot. Like no one walks on stage and like feels good. Like,
yeah, right. That's the funny thing about bodybuilding shows, dude.
They look so tan and healthy and
everyone's
happy
fucking
up there.
dead up there,
dude. You go backstage, everyone's fucking miserable. They're like we kind of talk to each other. Everyone's talking about what foods they're gonna eat immediately after. Like it's a weird. It's like you're in like this weird rehab facility. Like I can't wait to get out.
Yeah.
But it's for me it was just doing too much at once. Like I think bodybuilding kind of showed me that. I got so exhausted to the point where it just like just getting out of bed. Like I have to take like a day off work sometimes here and there. Like that's how shot I would be.
It's crazy.
Like there's no way I could stand up today and train people. And you just sleep for so long, and no matter how much you sleep, it doesn't help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot. And one of my favorite terms that I used with Steve off camera here was that Jim Wendler always says it's like you can't ride 2 horses with one ass. Pick a lane. Mm-hmm. Like, do you want to be super strong? And he programs that way. Do you want to be super strong and you need to put on some muscle mass and some size? Your conditioning isn't going to be, hardcore, like going balls to the wall conditioning. It's just not. It's just it's the lifts. You got higher percentage body fat, you're a little chubby, you want to lose weight, you want to get in better shape, then maintain, just do your heavy barbell work and go right to conditioning. Like,
word. Yeah, that's another good way to look at it too.
Find your, what is your goal? And I've been struggling with this personally too lately. Like my body fat is at a level where I hate it, but I'm also weak to the point where I hate it. So I'm like in this middle ground where it's like, well, your body fat is too high, but I want to get stronger. But I and that's up to me what I want to prioritize. But
well, in that specific example too is like, you almost do have to make that choice of like, do I want to get super big and super strong, or do I want to get lean out? It's like, or do I want to like lean out and work on, lowering my body fat? It's like, unless you're a genetic freak, like, both of those at the same time is like, it's not happening. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just that you're not going to, for the most part, right? But if you want to get super strong, like, dude, you're not going to like maintain your leanness or get more lean. Or if you want to get super lean and cut down a lot, like, dude, you're going to lose your strength. Like, for the most part, like, dude, that is going to happen.
Absolutely.
And like you're saying, you got to pick your lane. You got to choose which one you want to do.
Pick your battles, and it's man. Now I'm like thinking about everything I want to do.
Well, listen, it's gonna just add to your frustration too. Like, like we were saying, this is with the exception of genetic freaks. But if you're an average person who's like, I want to get super strong, strongest I've ever been, but I also want to be super cut up and have like abs, it's like, dude, you're probably gonna get really frustrated and give up. Like, because what's gonna happen is you're just gonna be playing tug of war, and you're gonna end up not getting stronger and also not getting any more lean, and now you're just spinning your wheels.
Yeah.
And
then like I'll be the first to admit I've done this. Like 2 weeks, I'm trying to lose fat. I'm gonna do cardio. Like, I don't really care about my lifts. And then like the second you start like getting a little, you're good. Scale's going down, body fat's going down.
Yeah.
Then like you get to the gym one day and you like get real fucking weak, and you're like, ooh, man, I really want to be strong. Like 2 weeks later, back to the same shit. And then you're like, damn, I'm fat. Then you try to condition again, and it's just like,
true.
It's a lot of people struggle with it, and we've talked about it, goal setting on the show and all that stuff. And I think it's just something, not to get like too personal or deep here, but like, it's just, you got to make your decision. What is more important to you?
Yeah, for real.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, for real.
For what the hell's going to happen. But
yeah, so we'll take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll continue our conversation on modifying intensity.
Yeah.
Be right back. Want more of the Strength Students podcast? Go check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, make sure you leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and on Stitcher. Stitcher, I just met her. Welcome back, everybody. Strength Students here, talking about modifying your intensity. That is us. Shit. Talking about modifying your intensity so you don't fucking hurt yourself, so you can't train anymore.
Then you want to die.
Because then you're really not going to get strong or fast if you're fucking not training. Ask me, I would know. So the first half there, we were talking about, kind of what it looks like when you're doing too much, right? This kind of episode is centered around like less is more, right? So first half, we talked about, how you're doing too much. Now we're going to talk about how you could kind of scale it down or modify it so you're not doing too much. Good ways to go about it. Again, we always try to preface it with, listen, everyone's different. Everyone has different demands. Everyone's got different stuff. But this is just kind of a general thoughts and ideas on how to go about these types of things. So, my personal experience with the comp training, what I've learned, obviously after year one, it was like, the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It was fucking broke, so I needed to fix it.
My back was broke.
So literally, like I was broken. So I was like, okay, I need to switch this. And it just came down to a couple things. A, putting your fucking ego aside instead of being like, well, no, I need to be an RX athlete. I want to compete with the RX athletes, so I need to do it RX. Putting your fucking ego aside and saying, hey, this is where I'm at. For me, this is what I need to do. So I'm not fucking hurt and not training. Because if I'm hurt and not training, then what the fuck's the point? Then I'm not training. I'm not doing anything. So the biggest thing is, I would say, step one, like, put your fucking ego to the side. You know what I mean? Put your ego to the side. Step two, really have an honest conversation with yourself, or if you have to, with someone else, about like, where are you at? Where are you at? What level are you at? How strong are you? What is your ability as an athlete? That way, you could start making these decisions on like, all right, I need to work on conditioning, so this can be the focus. Or I need to work on my strengths, so I need to focus on this. Or, say you're a power lifter. Like, all right, my bench is the weaker of the threes. I need to spend more time on that, right? I need to focus my intensity on my bench day, and maybe let myself recover and not go too crazy with my squat and my deadlift, right? So, for me, the light bulb moment was, when our Coach Doyle, he sat us down, had the comp team meeting, and one of the things he stressed to us was, A, don't be a leaderboarder. Meaning don't come into the gym that day, look at, who did, what time or what score for the workout, and be like, all right, I need to compete with that person. I need to get that time, or I need to beat that time.
Leaderboard whore.
Yeah. So I need to, as Siobhan put it.
Yeah.
I need to, I need to do it RX because everyone else did it RX, so I got to do it. It's like, no, what you need to focus on is, all right, today, what am I trying to accomplish? Like we were saying before, what are your weaknesses? What do you need to focus on, right? So he said, A, don't come in and be a leaderboarder, and B, focus on what you need, what specific to you is going to make you better that day, right? And so like we were just saying, hey, are you weak in gymnastics? Right. Okay. So then that needs to be the focus, right? Or is conditioning a focus for you right now? Then let's maybe take it easy with, the weightlifting and scale that down and focus on the running. It's not about in training. It's not about competing. It's about working on what you need to work on. In training, it's not about competing. When you get to a competition, yes, then it's about competing. But when you're in training, it's not about competing. The other thing he told everyone he wants to do, which this has really helped me too in my comp training, is you need to pick like 2 days or 2 sessions a week that you are going to go hard.
Out of the 10.
Out of the 10.
So you went from in our 10 case, balls to the wall. This is you personally.
Exactly. So, our comp training was 2 sessions a day, 5 days. So that's 10 training sessions. So he's saying out of those 10 training sessions, you should pick like 2 or 3 that you're like, all right, I'm gonna go RX with this. I'm gonna go hard as fuck, and I'm gonna leave it all out there. Right? So 2 to 3, not 10. So don't say all 10 of these I'm gonna try to go RX and go all balls to the wall and try to go insane. 10 out of 10 workouts I'm gonna do that, because you're just gonna, you know where that's gonna lead you. Right, that's going to lead you down the path of injury or plateauing or just burnout. So that was a good mental picture of, all right, in your week you got 5 training days, 10 training sessions. Pick 2 of those, 2 maybe 3 of those, where you're like, all right, this is the one where I'm going to go hard as fuck. And that has been a game changer for my training. I've been recovering better. I have not gotten hurt, thank fuck. I'm not even going to knock on wood because I know it's not going to fucking happen. Like. The way it's going, as far as like how smart I've been and like the coaching has been, not me, the coaching has been.
He's a dumbass. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, exactly. You see what happens when I fucking do it on my own. But the method is to avoid that shit, the injury and the plateauing, because then that's preventing you from training, which is what you're trying to fucking do in the first place. So. How to do that, how to go about that. A good way, if we're talking specifically CrossFit here, taking that, what we mentioned before, what are your weaknesses? What do you need to work on? Say you have a workout, right? The workout is, it has push presses in it, some sort of gymnastic piece, and monostructural, right? So weightlifting, gymnastics, and monostructural. This is your workout, right? Instead of saying, all right, well, I'm gonna go as hard as I can on all those because I just want to get better at all of them. Say, okay. Right now the focus is conditioning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe knock some weight off the push presses, maybe scale down the volume of the gymnastics.
And when you say the focus is conditioning, you're talking for you personally?
For me personally, exactly. Okay. So if I go into work and I'm like, what, my focus right now in my training is conditioning, and I really want to get better at that.
All right.
So I'll approach that workout and say, okay, where's the conditioning? All right, so let's focus on that. Let's take down the volume on the gymnastics. Let's take down the weight in the push presses. That way, during the conditioning part of that workout, I could go fucking hard as shit, right? And that's not just CrossFit. That could be anything, right? Say you want to work on your conditioning as, a strength athlete or, football player, but whatever you were. Say you want to work on your conditioning, right? Go moderate with your strength training, and that way you could really hone in on the conditioning and go hard as fuck, right? So pick and choosing your battles, right? Like what you were saying before, stay in your lane, right? In the lane you're trying to go, stay in your lane, right? Because if you're trying to do all this at once, if you think that you're just going to get better at everything at once, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, that was I know personally for me, the first time I went from always being a bigger dude, like 220, 230, 240 plus, and like always being able to throw weight around. And then I said, you know what? I'm so fat. Like, I need to lose weight. And then when I started losing weight, I started realizing, like, all right, this lift isn't really, I don't really care anymore. Like, all right, this is weak. Like, my bench press went down such a crazy amount. When I went from 240 to once I hit like 210, 220, my bench was like, see ya, we're out of here. So I go, all right, I'm not benching anymore. I'm going to focus on my conditioning. And as I got whittled down even more, I started just throwing stuff out like, oh, squats are weak. All right, well, I'm just going to do a different version of it. I like my hip hinge. I like my conditioning. And I just started knocking out what was ever. I was like, oh, well, if I don't really need this anymore, this is my goal is to get lean. And I was so one-track minded on that that I was just like, well, this is gone. This is gone. If I can't do it, I don't give a fuck. That's not my goal right now. So, yeah, I got to get back to that mindset. I want to go meditate.
Well, a big thing too. A big thing for me has just been ego. Like the ego is the biggest part.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. For everyone, I think.
Yeah, everyone. But the ego, I would argue, is the biggest part. You know, if you can separate yourself from looking at other people's scores or other people's numbers or what other people are doing for their volume and their training, if you could separate yourself from that and be like, where am I at?
Right.
That's when you're really going to start seeing strides in your training. I'm not sitting here saying everyone should be training at the same volume. No, like athlete A's volume is not going to be the same as athlete B's volume. Athlete A may be on a completely different level than athlete B. But if athlete B is trying to do the same volume as athlete A, that doesn't mean athlete B is going to then get elevated to athlete A. It's probably going to be the opposite. Athlete B is probably going to get worse. Right. So in order to get yourself from athlete B to athlete A, you got to know that you're athlete B and train like athlete B until you can train like athlete A.
Right.
Know what I'm saying?
Just be comfortable with where you're at.
That's it, man. You got to
enjoy it.
You got to throw the ego out, You have to be able to have that honest conversation with yourself when you come in and you see that, oh, maybe everyone else was doing, this weight or this heavy weight. You need to have the ability to separate yourself from that and be like, all right, what do I need to work on today? Not, oh, well, everyone else did this weight. Well, I know I'm going to have trouble with it, but I need to do it anyway because everyone else did it, and I need to prove that I could do it to myself and everyone else. It's like, no, man, you need to throw the ego away. Put the ego to the side. I'm telling you, put the ego away. Throw the ego to the side and just focus on what you need to do.
I did that the other day with literally this past week, this Wednesday, with Anthony. I haven't squatted in a while, and I was like, I have my 5-3-1 numbers. Nah, I'm just going to hit a 2-rep max. Like, I just fucking completely blew off what I was supposed to do.
So that's a good example, yeah. That's a classic example, dude.
And it was so dumb. Like, I'm not going to squat 440 for 7 like Anthony. Just not going to it's not going to happen.
Yeah, right.
Probably ever. My squatting's never been that good.
Yeah.
So, like, why am I trying? What the fuck am I doing?
Well, and that's definitely a classic example. That's like I
get fired up when I'm at Hellbent. Just like.
But no, that's a great example. Like, a lot of the time, what we do as athletes is like, shit, man, say we haven't squatted in 7 months, right? What happens the first day, like, we're with our buddies or training partners and they've been squatting and we hop in with them. It's like, oh, I'll just hop, pop 225 on the bar, and because I used to be able to do that, and it's like, I need to prove that I could still do that to myself. It's like, dude, be honest with yourself. You haven't squatted in 7 months. Put 135 on the bar or just use the bar. You know what I mean?
That.
Put the fucking ego away, man.
Times.
Put the ego away.
Did that with Rage Christie once.
He's
like, you could do more, dude. Brian's insane. It's my fault. I shouldn't have listened to him, but
yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah, I really hate him. I mean, he's doing well.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. That's gonna wrap it up for this one. You got anything else you want to add?
Nah, is this episode 40?
I believe this is gonna turn out to be episode 40. I think so. Yeah, we could make that official.
Oh,
40 episodes. It's crazy.
Thank you, everyone that listens.
Yeah, for real. Thanks everyone who listens, man. We love
episodes.
It. Yeah.
Fuck.
So yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube page. Hopefully, getting some more content up there and shooting that out there.
Yeah, hopefully we are.
Yeah, yeah. Word. So subscribe to us on YouTube, Strength Students Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, Strength Students Podcast. Facebook. Make sure you like our page. Go to iTunes, 5-star review. Go to Stitcher, whatever it is they do there. And we appreciate you guys for listening. So thank you, and we will definitely see you next episode. Peace out.
Later.